This is Faryal on New Wave Global. In the month of March that celebrates womanhood, talk of women's resilience and courage, talk of carrying on despite unimaginable physical and mental pain, talk of grief, talk of selflessness, of looking after families, brothers, fathers, sons, of standing tall in the face of unending atrocities. And that's talking about women of Palestine, the all-enduring emblems of courage and unfaltering faith. Striving for peace in war-ravaged Palestine are two women organizations, Palestine-based Women of the Sun and Israel-based Women Wage Peace, through which Palestinian and Israeli women are working together towards a peaceful solution to the Palestine crisis. Women Wage Peace was founded in the year 2014, has 45,000 Israeli members, and is the largest grassroots peace movement in Israel today. While Women of the Sun was founded in the year 2021, has 2,500 members in West Bank, where it is headquartered, and around 300 members in Gaza, at least 27 of whom have unfortunately been killed in the latest offensive that started on October 7, while at least 3 members of Women Wage Peace, including co-founder Vivian Silver, were also killed. Yael Admi is the co-founder of Women Wage Peace that has undertaken a partnership pact with the Palestinian organization Women of the Sun, founded by Reem Hajjajre. The brave duo joins me here this afternoon. Both Reem and Yael have recently made it to this year's Times Women of the Year list, while their organizations have jointly nominated, they have been nominated for this year's Nobel Peace Prize. I'm also joined by Hayam Tanis. Thank you all, and Yael Admi and Reem Hajjajre, congratulations on achieving this under very dire circumstances of what is certainly the world's most savage war zone. Yael, I would like to start off by asking you, what is this partnership of the two organizations about, and how challenging was it to collaborate amid such harsh realities that exist between Israel and Palestine?
So first of all, thank you for this interview. And what we are doing is very important for us, but the ability to publish it, it's so crucial to our success. So thank you, first of all, so much. Secondly, I want to tell you about this marvelous partnership that we built in the last 5 years, actually, day by day, by speaking, by listening, by hugging, by crying together. And we found the common vision of both sides, the women from Israel and Palestine. All of them want to grow up their kids for peace, for hugging them, not for get them be victims. And we, both of us, the Israeli and Palestinian mothers, understand deeply that we have the same target. We are connected so deeply, and we know that this connection is the hope for our region, because it's such a hell in these days. And we know we need each other to bring a new future for our children, for our grandchildren, for the coming generations. And it's very, very difficult in these days. But I admire the courage and determination of my partners, Reem Hajjajra. I was so proud to stand by her in LA 10 days ago when we were nominated as Women of the Year of the Time magazine. I felt so honorable. And thank you, dear Reem, for your courage, your I admire you, really. I admire your determination, the way you are enable us to feel sisters. And in our society, it's also quite difficult in these days. Many people feeling so deep in their personal sadness, and we have, all of us, we have to take our hands and to look at the others and to understand that we have to see that there are no two sides for this conflict. There is one side of mothers that want to hug and grow up their kids to fulfill their dreams.
Absolutely. Rafah is a small city in southern Gaza, and around 1.5 million Palestinians have been displaced there in very cramped and horrible conditions. Then there's the looming threat of further Israeli aggression as Israel threatens with ground invasion of Rafah. So, Reem, I would like to put my next question to you. With famine and the threat of a ground invasion looming, how are the women faring in the camps of Rafah and the rest of Gaza under this constant fear of further displacement and enforced evacuation, especially with the holy month of Ramadan having set in? Tell us about the situation on the ground in Rafah.
أول إشي فرصة سعيدة إني التقيت فيها وإنه سمحت لنا إنه كمان تسمعنا. بالنسبة لقطاع غزة والوضع المأساوي اللي بعيشوا فيه أهالي غزة اللي عددهم أكثر من 2.5 مليون، وخصوصا في منطقة الشمال من غزة وضعها كتير سيء للغاية، لدرجة إنه في مجاعة محتملة يعني في أي وقت، في قلة موارد غذائية. الوضع ما بتحملش إلا تدخل دولي لوقف الحرب على غزة وإنقاذ أرواح المدنيين هناك. وهذا الإشي اللي بنناشد فيه عمالنا أنا ويعيل كل دول العالم اللي بنزورها، إنه الوضع المأساوي اللي في غزة أو الوضع الإنساني المأساوي في غزة بدل على كارثة حقيقية بحق البشرية. واللي بنطالب كمان إنه بدل الشعوب ما بتوقف مع طرف ضد طرف، لازم يوقفوا كلهم لإنهاء الحرب ووجود حل سلمي للمنطقة بشكل عام.
Yes. Women are the last ones to eat, while children are the first ones to die. This is what is being said about what is happening in Gaza right now. And they're exhausted. Women are exhausted. They have these added responsibilities of having to look after the wounded, children, male members of the family, while they themselves are underfed, dehydrated, without health care facilities. Yael, childbirth is taking place without painkillers, C-sections without anesthesia. Mothers are breastfeeding without having eaten for days. That's the shocking reality of Gaza today. The UN agency has said that women are giving birth without basic medical assistance and lack menstrual hygiene products and privacy in exceptionally unsanitary living conditions. With fuel, medicine, water, and hospital supplies diminished, pregnant women are among the most affected, certainly doubly disadvantaged. Tell us about whatever little help reaches these women, if at all, and if organizations like yours, with the help of Women of the Sun, if they are doing anything to provide relief to pregnant and lactating women.
Women are paying the highest prices of this terrible war. Really, it's so unneeded, it's so awful, it's hell. And actually we had the initiative to build a hospital on the border for women pregnant. We didn't succeed to do it, but we will continue, because we think is that the women connection between the borders, that's the highest responsibility of all of us. But we are seeing this with the same idea of stopping and finishing this terrible conflict. We are doing also in our parliament. by demanding our parliament member to finish this terrible situation and to find a horizon of political solution to this so long conflict with the Palestinian. This issue is making such big problems for all the citizens in this area. And we know the women are the most sensitive and painful, that paying such unhuman price. And we are making our best to stop this hell.
All right.
You know, our Vivian Silver, she was murdered in the first day of the 7th of October. And 3 days before, she was with us with hundreds of Palestinian and Israeli women and many women all over the world. And we shout this
That's
conflict.
really awful.
And Vivian said, we can't continue in this terrible way. And that's what's happening now. So we know it's our mission, it's our duty to continue as hard as possible, as with courage and determination to continue this path for negotiation, for political agreement, because there is no other way that all of us can live here together with peaceful and security. All of us need it so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, Reem, 70% of those killed in Gaza since October 7 are women and children who bear the brunt of this conflict disproportionately. While physical trauma is obviously accompanied with a lot of psychological trauma as well. Tell us how children and also the elderly are surviving in Rafah and Gaza at large. And again, what Women of the Sun is doing to bring some semblance of relief to the children and the elderly?
في بداية الحرب حاولنا أن نقدم جزء من المساعدات الإنسانية الخاصة في النساء، مثل الفوط الصحية والأدوية وإلى آخره من هذه المستلزمات، بالإضافة إلى الدعم النفسي. ومع الأسف الشديد مع ازدياد حدة الحرب بطل عندنا القدرة إنه نتواصل مع حدا إلا عبر الإنترنت إذا وجد.
That's unfortunate indeed. Yael, do you receive support from global rights activists and feminists in your work? There's been a criticism on the apathy and silence of the international feminists who claim to stand on the side of all women facing discrimination, though the term discrimination doesn't really capture the magnitude of what women in Gaza and the rest of Palestine are enduring. Tell us if you receive any support or help of any type from international women's rights activists?
We have, but not enough. Because, you know, the Israeli citizens had a great trauma on the 7th of October. So many people are still deep in this sorrow and the tragic things that happened to and we are trying to get out from this, but it's still very difficult. And any support we get gives us the opportunity to see, yeah, we are not alone. People looking at us and seeing what's happened and understand that it's terrible. And we can't continue in this way of doing such terrible things. And we are trying to accelerate our voices, that people will listen to our situation and will understand how awful is it and what hell all of us are having him. And I believe that with this common voice of women, of Israeli and Palestinian, that's the only way to make people open their hearts, because everyone is really deep in his personal and private sorrow. And these moments are the highest challenge for humanity, to look and to see both sides. We are all suffering. It's really terrible days. And we have to see that we have the only way to finish this. It's to solve this long and unneeded conflict. We can find solutions. We can live together with freedom, with rights, in responsible of both sides. We can be here together and live really with a great hope.
Yes. So how much aid is reaching Gaza, Yael? When aid trucks have been waiting in Egypt and elsewhere, they could not access Gaza. Last Wednesday, United Nations Aid Center in Rafah was also hit, killing and wounding their staff members, while 700,000 people are experiencing famine and food poverty. What is the aid situation like up close?
Yeah.
Is the aid
As I know.
Yes, Yael, this is for you, the question.
Yeah. We are trying to do our best. The situation is very complicated. We tried to bring as much as possible, but there were big problems on the Gaza area. We are trying to solve them. I don't want to blame or make some arguments about the problems that we have there, but we are trying to make our best. And we know that this way of making such harm to each other, it's not the way. We have to find another way. We are doing our best in this terrible situation, but the only way to finish this painful situation is to go to finish this terrible war and to begin a new horizon of peace and reconciliation. Because in this situation, you see the prices, the unhuman prices of not finding the way to live together. It's really hell for all of us.
It is. So Reem, coming to you, what is the situation like in the West Bank? Israeli forces have detained around 240 women since last October. In what conditions are these women kept? We keep seeing news of women being stripped, footages of abuse and torture. What will you add to how these women are being held and treated?
بداية قبل 7 أكتوبر كان في أحداث كتير صعبة في الضفة الغربية، بس ما كان حدا منتبه إلها كتير. انتبهوا الناس للضفة وغزة بعد 7 أكتوبر، لأنه كانت الضربة في البداية لإسرائيل. النساء في الضفة مش أقل حظا من النساء في غزة، بالعكس عندهم كتير من المشكلات. وبالنسبة إلي أنا كمان فقدت ابن اسمه فادي في قبل 7 أكتوبر تقريبا بسنة في منطقة الجنوب. قتلوه الجيش الإسرائيلي وتم التحفظ على جثمانه. وهذا الإشي اللي خلانا نصر إنه نعمل إشي للشعب الفلسطيني، واللي هو إنه نسمع العالم كمية الوجع اللي إحنا نتألم فيها. وحاليا بنقدم للنساء في الضفة جزء من المعونات الغذائية، لأن الوضع الاقتصادي جدا متدهور، بالإضافة إلى الدعم النفسي والاجتماعي. وهذا كمان بسبب العقوبات الجماعية اللي بتفرضها علينا إسرائيل.
Yes. That's right. Reem, this question is also for you. Living conditions in Rafah are very dangerous. They're perilous. Tents are usually for displaced people are overcrowded. There is an insufficient number of toilets, no water. People are also known to be catching a lot of communicable diseases like those of the skin, and then there's diarrhea and bronchitis. How bad is the incidence of infectious diseases among women and children in Gaza? And is your organization, Women of the Sun, doing anything to help these women and children who are getting these diseases?
يعني كل المساعدات اللي عم تصل لقطاع غزة هي نقطة في بحر المأساة اللي بيعيشوها هناك. يعني أعداد المدنيين اللي تلقوا كل أنواع الصدمات النفسية والصحية كثير كبيرة كانت. وعدم إدخال كمان المعونات الغذائية والأدوية والمستلزمات الطبية والصحية للنساء كمان هاي ساعدت على تكبير حجم الكارثة الصحية. يعني قطاع غزة بشكل عام مش بس رفح، على أساس أفهمها الصورة إنه رفح جزء من قطاع غزة، هي بحاجة لدول تدعمها في الوقت الحالي مش لمؤسسات.
Absolutely, the whole world needs to get together, and I think things are getting worse day by day, as she just pointed out.
Yes.
Resilience and
Yes.
vulnerability, I think, is the complex reality of women in Gaza in particular, and everybody else in general. And I think their resolve and strength is a testament to the indomitable spirit that they have. Yael, would you like to add anything as to what we have just
Yeah. So as you said, it's terrible days. Women, kids are paying such terrible price, unhuman, unneeded from both sides. And we know that if we'll continue the conversation of blaming and shaming each side, we will continue this 100 years of conflict. The only way is to unite women all over the world. We are asking all the women to get with us, to join our mother's call, our common vision. We call in this special paper that we prepare together, we ask all the women in the world to join our mother's call. We ask all the leaders of the world, please help us. We have to finish these conflicts. Look how terrible these days. Look how much sorrow we have in our area. And we have, it's by these terrible days, we can find a new horizon. It's a time for new opportunities. The moderate voices all over the world can join. We can make together a big effort, and from this deep sorrow, to find and to understand all of us that we have the past, and we need the support of all the moderate voices all over the world, and there are many, and we need as women our supporters to be together. Look at the internet, Mother's Call, join our common voice, our common vision to bring a new hope to our area, especially in these terrible days. The only thing that we can think about it is that this hell gives understanding to all the people that this can't continue in this terrible way.
Yes. International governments, I think, that prioritize rights, human rights and women's rights in particular in their foreign policies, they're clearly sending a message through their inaction that women's lives and rights in conflict regions are expendable, while the harrowing landscape of war is a slow erosion of hope and an unending battle against despair. I thank Reem, Yael, and Hayam
I
for their
want to add something. I want to add something, if it's possible, that we know that according UN Resolution 1325, the duty of women to be involved in negotiations, it's crucial
Yes.
to the success. We need to give women place around the table. We need to listen to their voices, because when we are there, we don't need to win each other. We have to find a way of living together, and women know how to do it. We are
Yes.
better in this duty in life, and we need this ability. That's the reason we are asking women all over the world, join our common mother's call. We need your support. The situation is so bad, but it can be really a moment of new future for all of us. Thank you so much.
That's so right. I thank Reem, Yael, and Hayam for your valuable time, and with wishes and prayers for Palestine and all the women of the region. Allah Hafiz and goodbye.